Guys, this buffet, she's so crazy, you can't take her anywhere. Today, I am eating at Asian buffets for 24 hours, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. This is the first stop, which is breakfast. It is the Crazy Buffet in Orlando. I have never been here. I am going to different buffets for lunch and dinner, so we just see all the variety that the buffets have to offer in the area. Hey, bird. Quack! I'm sorry, a pigeon just possessed me. We are gonna review the food and we're gonna be super honest. If something is disgusting, I'm gonna say it. And if something is amazing, I'm gonna say that as well. But of course, keep in mind, I am not an expert on Asian food whatsoever. And I also want to be respectful of all the cultures and the different cuisines. Like if I can't pronounce something, it's because I'm dumb. It's not because I'm trying to mispronounce it. Things like that, you know? Now, of course, none of these buffets actually serve breakfast. So I'm having breakfast at 11 a.m. when they open. I'm so hungry, I could cry. I'm a little shaky. And then I'll have a late lunch, a late dinner just to balance it out. Keep it dainty, keep it fresh. But before we go in, guys, give this video a big thumbs up if you're enjoying it. It's the easiest way to support little old me and my whole dainty career. It actually is though, and also sharing. So share it with a friend. And if you're new here, subscribe. I make food content, buffets, restaurants, hotel food. It's a great time. So anyways, they're like about to open. Let's go inside and feast. I actually just realized that I'm 10 minutes early, so I just have to wait in the car. The hunger is taking over, girl. Watch out. They say buffets are all you can eat, so I'm gonna eat all I can. They're officially open. The open sign is on. Hello. One. So I got a lot of footage of each buffet just for you guys, because I love to treat my wonderful viewers. As you can see, this buffet had a lot of fruits, veggies, plants, earth. Are we taste testing anything from this section? No, of course not. This was sort of like the appetizer section. They had chicken skewers, pot stickers, a bunch of egg rolls, spring rolls, sweet and sour chicken, fries. This is basically the oil section. The Tin Man would love it. They also had a lot of different soups and oh, look at those shiny rolls. I forgot to try those, but they look gorgeous. Now this is the seafood section. This is where Ariel and Moana hang out. They're like, hey girl. As you can see, I think that's tilapia or one of the other fishies in the sea. And then there was a more carby section with a lot of pizza, bread, onion rings, tater tots. And they also had these like cheesy oyster type things. Dairy from the land meets clam from the sea. Bringing everyone together. We love that. Now this is what I actually got. So I got this little sesame ball. It looked very interesting. I got a tater tot. Actually, I got two. See, it's over there. And I got an onion ring, and, oh gosh, and I got a mozzarella stick, as you can see, and a nice piece, oh, girl, chill. And a nice piece of cheese pizza, a fried dumpling, a chicken skewer, an egg roll, and then, wait, this is going too fast. Wait, General Tso's chicken. I also got beef and broccoli. I got this pork in this red sauce, black pepper chicken, which looked amazing. This other pork, and some lo mein, and some fried rice. And that is my breakfast besides dessert, of course. I'm ready to feast. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, Timmy, why aren't you using chopsticks? I never learned how. I've always tried. I can't do it. It's impossible. I also don't know how to whistle, and I don't know how to ride a bike or tie my shoes properly. Let's start the day with a tater tot, because nothing screams buffet like a tater tot, right? It looks crispy. I'm glad I got two. Oh, a treat. Those are perfect tater tots. They taste freshly fried in fresh oil. Super crispy on the outside, salted. They actually taste a lot like Sonic's tater tots. So I'm living, and I did get water. We all know the rules. Start the day with a big glass of water and then have 20 cans of Diet Coke later on. There's nothing more to say about the tater. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Gollum would love it. Next up, let's try this chicken on a stick. Focus. Thank you. I am gonna attempt to hide my reaction if I'm not pleased with the dish, because I don't wanna be rude, right? So if you see me struggling, that's why. This chicken flavor-wise is actually quite good. It does have a hammy flavor to it. Tastes kind of like smoked. What I struggled with was the texture, girly. The texture. The texture was gooey, gummy, gooby, like Gwyneth Paltrow. And I really could not handle it. So I'm gonna have to give the chicken on a stick 2 gobbles out of 10. Next up, let's try the fried rice. That is a classic staple at every Asian buffet. That is the quintessential perfect fried rice, at least to my uncultured palate. It tastes just like Panda Express's fried rice, but with more flavor. I like Panda Express from time to time, but their fried rice really lacks flavor. This is much saltier. The rice is fluffy. It tastes fresh. It is perfect fried rice to me. 10 out of 10, girly. Next up, let's try the cheese stick. So I'm thinking that it's gonna be like a mozzarella stick, sort of. Let's see if there's a cheese pull. Oh, slightly. Very, very nice. It tastes like a frozen aisle mozzarella stick, but like a good one. The cheese does taste a little milkier and like more dairy-ish than usual, a bit more moo, if you will, and it's a little saltier too. So it's good. It is not the best mozzarella stick I've ever had, but I enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a very nice 7 out of 10. Yes. Let's try the General Tso's chicken. I got 1 piece of it. Ooh, oh God. The chicken was so tough that I literally couldn't get my fork in there, and my whole plate said, "This is too much pressure for us," and it snapped. Let's try it. Girlies, the texture of the pollo itself was very, very tough, probably very overcooked, overfried. The sauce was actually the main issue. It had a sweet and sour flavor, but not like sweet and sour chicken, more so like a sour candy, like a Sour Patch straw or something like that. I did not enjoy it. I'm gonna give it a 2 out of 10. Let's try the pizza. Guess who made it? Giada De Laurentiis. I did not think I would find her artistry here, but here we are. She's everywhere. Okay. I would compare it to Chuck E. Cheese pizza, possibly like bowling alley pizza. It isn't bad. It's just like the type of pizza where pizza's an afterthought on the menu, but it's still decent because it's like a frozen pizza. It's very that. But I enjoyed it. Once again, I'm going to give that pizza a nice 4 out of 10. And that might sound low because this is lower quality pizza, but I still enjoyed it, sis. Now let's try the pork dumpling. That is a fantastic pork dumpling. It was crispy and seared on the outside, and then the pork filling had so much flavor, like more flavor than your typical dumpling. A lot of ginger, a lot of garlic, very salty. Also, like sometimes dumplings can be kind of mushy. This one was not. It was just cooked perfectly. Loved it. 10 out of 10. Perfection. Now let's try this pork. I forget what the name was, but it's like neon and bright. I love it. Okay, so that pig said, I'm gonna taste good, but I'm gonna be gooey, girl. Accept me for who I am. The flavor is actually fantastic, and that's what I recognized first, so I was really enjoying it. It has a very strong porky flavor, lightly sweet, but mostly savory, and a very simple flavor too. But the texture, the more I chewed, the more I got icked out. Because I think there was like a blob of gooiness in the center, and I just couldn't do it. You guys know, I can't do gooiness. And so I'm gonna give the pork a 5 out of 10. Amazing flavor. Sinister texture. Now the onion ring. The flavor started like, hey girl, I'm an onion ring. And then it was like, just kidding, I taste like B.O. armpit. I adore onion rings, and I really think that the batter here is actually quite fantastic. It's almost like a little bit cakey. It's very crunchy, and it tastes like it was fried in fresh oil once again. But the onion itself on the inside, just, I don't know if it tastes old or something, but it's way too strong. And I love onions, but this one is like, it's a stinky onion. When an onion's stinky, we stay away. We say, no. I'm gonna have to give the onion a 3 out of 10. Let's try the lo mein. I love lo mein. You really can't mess up noodles, guys. Mmm. Mmm. Oh my goodness. That is very nice. It tastes like a classic lo mein, but it has a much stronger sesame oil flavor than other lo meins. And I really love the flavor of sesame oil. So it really pops here and it just makes it taste a little more unique. The noodles were perfectly al dente. Overall, not too salty. Very good lo mein. I'm gonna give it a nice strong 9 out of 10. Next up, let's try the broccoli and beef. Even though I didn't get the broccoli girlies, I don't feel like eating a tree right now. I support the cows out there, but I don't support this one. I think this one had a bad attitude. The flavor, for some reason, was giving ham. And I've never had beef and broccoli that tastes like ham. Of course, I'm not an expert. Maybe it's supposed to taste like ham. And so there's a ham flavor, but then the texture was not even meaty in the slightest. It was just gelatinous. So like my teeth were just sinking through it. It really felt like beef jello. I don't know how to cope with that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to give the beef and broccoli a 1 out of 10. That's so far the worst item today. Let's try this black pepper chicken. Okay. Mmm. 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 That is the best meat so far. That is fantastic. First of all, the chicken was cooked perfectly. It's super tender. The outside is extremely crispy, and it's probably because it isn't like soaked in a sauce, so it like retained all of the crispiness. There's a strong black pepper flavor, which I love, but there's also like a garlic flavor there. It's just overall fantastic. That's a 10 out of 10. Next up, let's try this sesame ball, which I don't think I've ever had. I don't think there's fish in this, right? You guys know I don't really enjoy fish. It's probably just like sesame seeds in there. Oh, there's something in there. What is that? Is that red bean paste? I like this. Oh my gosh, I love that. I don't know what the filling is, but like overall, all I taste is a very strong sesame flavor, and I love sesame seeds. Texture is like serving mochi. It's like a rice kind of like doughiness, and I love that. And then the filling, honestly, I couldn't taste it. But if I had to guess, maybe it's red bean paste to add a little bit of sweetness, because there is some sweetness in there. Either way, that was pretty good. I liked it. I'm gonna give it a nice strong 7 out of 10. Yes, sesame ball. Come on, seed. Let's try this meat. Now, I think this was pork. I don't remember. We'll see. That is delicious. That is so much better than the other pork. It is not ooey gooey, it's tender. And the flavor very much is like serving your typical lo mein flavor actually, just a little stronger. So it has that sweetness, a little bit of tanginess, soy sauciness, it has it all. That is pretty great. I'm gonna give that a nice strong 8 out of 10. Really enjoyed that. Out of these 2 plates, we only have the pork egg roll left. And then we're getting dessert. Ooh, that's how it looks. Mmm. Welcome back to Disney Channel. I have to be honest, I am not the biggest egg roll fan, at least like when it comes to like Panda Express's egg rolls, because a lot of times they don't have that much flavor. But this pork egg roll has a lot of flavor. It's a lot sweeter than your typical egg roll, at least the ones that I've had. And it's saltier, and the pork has a stronger flavor, and you can taste like the vegetables more. They're kind of crunchier. They're not mushy at all. That is genuinely fantastic. I'm giving it a strong 10 out of 10. Wow. Okay, girlies, it's time for the sweets. Let's go get some dessert. So this is the dessert section. As you can see, they have a lot of little cakes, pastries, puddings, and these little cups of like mousse type stuff you're gonna see. And they also had a whole ice cream selection, which I did forget to taste test throughout the whole day. I don't know what's wrong with me. These are the desserts that I chose for breakfast. I got a little cup of this white mousse stuff. And then I got this cake roll looking thing that sort of looked like a cinnamon roll without the cinnamon, which is like me without the half Cuban. You know, it's like it's something's missing. And then I got this little strawberry jello cake type thing as well. Let's try whatever this is. It's just like a white frosting. I don't know. Excuse me. Decadent. This is like a mint mousse. It's like serving mint chocolate chip ice cream without the chocolate. It's so airy. And so delicious. And it's like whipped cream, but like a lot richer. So it has like a full mint sweet flavor with a whipped cream texture. That was such a pleasant surprise. I'm giving it A 10 out of 10. Fantastic. Now let's try this roll cake looking thing. Okay. It's pleasant. You know what? It tastes like a really plain, simple pound cake with a very thin layer of like cream filling. Too thin. I think that if it had more cream filling, it wouldn't be so dry and so, but it is enjoyable. It is. Now let's try this strawberry creation. This looks really good. This is the main star of the dessert plate. This is the Gaga of A Star Is Born. Come on, buffet Gaga. Oh. That's gone already. Does it taste processed? Yes. Does it taste artificial, like artificial strawberry flavoring? Yes. But did this big man enjoy it? Yes. The strawberry flavoring tastes more like strawberry candy, but otherwise it's giving more strawberry shortcake with a thin layer of like jello on top. So I'm gonna give that strawberry cake thing a 9 out of 10. So guys, this is my breakfast buffet score. What do we think? The whole meal was like up and down, but I had fun. In a few hours, we're gonna go to the next buffet location and we're gonna have lunch. It's lunchtime, and this is the second location. This is Ichiban Buffet. I hope I'm saying that correctly. It is actually right next to this iconic gift shop, the Zaddy Wizard Gift Shop. I don't know if that's the official name, but it's the official name to me. Anyways, guys, let's go in and feast. One. The second buffet had a much smaller salad section, and it's probably because no one goes to buffets to eat salads. Like, go to Panera Bread, sis. This buffet also had some of those cheesy looking oysters, and they had a lot of different chicken wings and pizza once again. They also had soups, and they had these like bun type things, which I didn't try during this meal, but spoiler alert, I tried some of them at the dinner restaurant, so stay tuned. They also had a lot of meats, a lot of noodles, a lot of rices, all the classic staples, and once again, onion rings, a lot of egg rolls. This is when I started noticing that both restaurants had pretty similar spreads. And part of me wondered, could both restaurants be owned by the same person? But then I found out that a lot of things tasted very different, so I don't think so. Anyways, this is what I got for lunch. So I got a big fried chicken wing, some fries, a chicken nugget, a sugary donut, a spring roll. Oh, I forget the name of this, but it's like a dumpling type thing, but it's opened. And then I got this other chicken wing that was actually sauced, and a big dry piece of garlic bread. I got some fried rice, some of these white noodles, which shook me, you'll see. Some lo mein, a fried dumpling, some sweet and sour chicken, and some bourbon chicken as well. So that's my lunch. Okay, girly, so we are sat. I'm in a booth, which really makes me feel more comfortable. Lunch is served. Why don't we first try the little sweet thing on the plate? This is a street donut. That's what it's called. So it seems like a simple donut with sugar on the outside of it. You know, everyone says first impressions matter. I don't think they do. This is not a big deal. The donut on the inside tastes pretty good. It kind of tastes like a Pillsbury biscuit, like basic, you know. But there's an oily flavor on the outside that's really potent. It tastes kind of like older oil. Maybe like oil from 1802. And then the sugar comes in and it makes the old oil flavor sweet. So it's like sweet old oil. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna have to give the donut a 3 out of 10. I think it could be a lot better. Next up, let's try the fries. Focus. Focus on my fry. I didn't feel safe digesting that. There's some very manly men screaming at each other in Spanish. As you guys know, I am half Cuban, so you think Timmy could translate that? No, I can't. I don't know Spanish. Anyways, you might be thinking, Timmy, you're so dramatic. A fry's a fry. Like, fries are always edible and delicious. Not these ones, sis. At least in my opinion, these fries genuinely taste extremely cold, extremely stale. Like, from the inside out. Like, there is no way to help them. There is no drop of ketchup, no cup of ranch that could help this tater. This came from Idaho probably 20 years ago. I'm gonna have to give the fries a 1 out of 10, and that's crazy. Let's try the bourbon chicken. This looks so good to me. Look at that rich syrupiness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, something good. That is pretty good. That tastes like any bourbon chicken sample that you would find at the mall. Fun fact, when I was like 18 or 19, I would go around the food court multiple times to get like multiple samples from each place. And one of the Latin food court restaurants noticed, and the lady literally told me, "Uno, papi." I almost disintegrated right then and there. Call me an Avenger. I flaked. This bourbon chicken is good. Very salty, almost a little too salty, but it's like sticky, it's sweet. It's a little bit chewy though, but I liked it. I'm gonna give it a nice strong 7 out of 10. Okay, things are looking up. Let's try the chicken nugget. That's how it looks. It looks just like a McNugget. Ronald said, "That's my chicken." That's a, that's a McNugget. That's a McNugget. I'm not joking. Look at that. There's no way it's not. The breading is crispy. It has that iconic McNugget flavor. The chicken on the inside has that really clean flavor and texture. It's exact. This ma'am loves McNuggets, so I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. Okay. Oh, and I did get Diet Coke this time. Next up, let's try these like white noodles. They look really, really good to me. Oh, there's a big egg in them. Oh, I love that. I adore those. Compared to like lo mein, these noodles are a lot more bright tasting, more like refreshing, not so heavy. They have a very light, eggy, cabbagey flavor to them. And that might sound gross, but it tastes really good. It tastes really fresh. And the vegetables are so crunchy. Fantastic. The eggy noodles are a 10 out of 10. Oh yeah. Is this place starting to slay me? Let's try the fried rice. And I know that I tried the fried rice at the other place, but I'm gonna try like the main staples, like the fried rice and the lo mein, at every single restaurant. I have to. This is so good. Somehow even better than the other fried rice. It has a richer, more like dark soy sauce flavor to it, less sesame oil, more hibachi. It tastes like a hibachi fried rice. Super soaked in that soy sauce. Oh, 10 out of 10. Oh my goodness. Now let's try the sweet and sour chicken. Oh yeah. That is great, simple, classic sweet and sour chicken. It tastes like any takeout sweet and sour chicken that you've ever had. Super crispy batter, tiny little piece of chicken on the inside. The sweet and sour sauce is just any old classic sweet and sour sauce. One could say it's a little bit sweet and a little bit sour. Thank you so much. Another 10 out of 10. Thank you so much. It is time to try the garlic bread, okay? In terms of bread, this is giving, I forgot my bread in the oven and it's been there for 3 days. The flavor isn't bad at all. It tastes like any old like frozen garlic bread. I think the issue here is the texture. It's not really serving crispy, it's serving stale, dry, dust. June, part 2, Timothy Chalamet. I'm gonna have to give the bread a 3 out of 10. Next up, let's try the spring roll. This is what I mean when I say that some spring rolls and egg rolls have mushy fillings. Do you see that? Exactly. The egg roll does have a nice crunchy wrapping, but the filling really is mush. But it's not just the texture that's the issue here. It has no flavor on the inside. It really doesn't. It said, I'm gonna be mush, and I'm gonna be the least interesting person you're ever gonna meet. I'm gonna have to give the spring roll a 2 out of 10. Next up, let's try the fried dumpling. It didn't say if this is pork or chicken or what. Wow. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous dark color. I think that might be chicken. I don't know. It has so much flavor. It feels like whatever meat's in there has been like marinated for days. It almost has like the same flavor as the hibachi fried rice. It's very strong. And the outside's very crispy. I'm gonna give that dumpling a nice strong 8 out of 10. Lo mein. I got the shivers from my toes to my deviled egg head. I really, really loved the other noodles. I think that they really outshined, outsmarted, and outlasted these noodles. These, for some reason, taste like just spaghetti. And I know that it might be like the same shape of noodle as spaghetti, maybe. I'm not sure. But they taste like plain spaghetti that's been soaked in soy sauce, and that's it. Like, that's it. There's no other flavor happening. There's no excitement. There's no joy. I'm gonna give the lo mein a 2 out of 10. Very bad. Very rough. Okay, let's try this. I forget what it's called, but it looks like a dumpling with like an open top to it. Probably the wrong description, but I think it was called like, I'm not sure, but it's like, it's kind of like a dumpling, I think. Please don't come for me, guys. I'm trying my best here, please. Everyone's gonna be looking for something to attack. They're gonna be like, Timmy, you said this wrong. You said that wrong. You should have done your research on every single item at the buffet before coming here. Okay, girl, let's try it. I like it. It kind of reminds me of like a pork meatball. There's like a garlicky flavor, but there's also like a sort of white wine flavor that I really liked and made it taste kind of like fancy. The texture was also pretty meatball-y. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Next up, let's try this fried chicken wing. Look at that color. That is unlike any wing that I've ever had. First of all, the breading's super crispy, super delicious. But the seasonings underneath the breading, they are sort of giving a turmeric curry flavor, which is so interesting, unexpected, plot twist. That is truly delicious. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Last but not least, we have this other kind of wing. There was no label above it, so I'm not sure what kind of sauce this is, but it seems to be an unbreaded sauced wing. Maybe sweet and sour? That's not sweet and sour, that's spicy. This is so good. The tenderloin did say hello and bounce around. That's totally fine. That is to be expected with any wing, right? But this wing is very good. First of all, it might be small, but the quality of the chicken is very nice. It is not a gummy wing. It has actual meat on it. I'm looking at you, Tyson. You had a lot to say about me in the press. What's good? And then the sauce is like spicy, super tangy, like pop of flavor. Truly delicious. I'm giving that wing a 10 out of 10. Very strong. So we ended the main meal on a good note. It's now time for dessert, girlies. So this dessert area was pretty similar to the first restaurant's dessert area, but they had a few different things. Like they had these little bundt cakes and, oh, that's the same dry roll. Love that. And sorry, I got distracted. I got this coffee cake type thing, which I didn't know that it was coffee flavored until I tasted it. You'll see. And then I got this little bundt cake with little crumbs under it and a little pink version of the mint thingy and a cream puff. We have a little pink version of that little mint cup. I like it. I was expecting like a strawberry moment. This is just serving plain frosting, but like light whipped cream frosting. And I'm not a big frosting person, but if it's light like this, it's good. Oh yeah, very simple. I'm gonna give this a nice strong 8 out of 10. Now let's try this little bundt cake. It has some sort of like a short bready crumble on the bottom, which is very interesting. Let's try it. Okay. It's all right. It's okay. Oh, it kind of matched my shirt though. It is serving red velvet, but like the flavor is so barely there that it really just kind of tastes like a dry, flavorless cake with a hint of red velvet. It's barely even velvet. It's more like denim. So I'm gonna have to give it a 4 out of 10. Not bad, but it could have been a lot better. Let's try the cream puff. Ooh, this looks so good. I actually didn't want to eat that, but there's a waitress standing right there, so I had to eat it. Oh my God. You might be thinking, Timmy, that's a cream puff. Don't be dramatic. Cream puffs are simple. You know, it's fine. The cream is not the issue. It's the puff. It is dry, stale, flavorless, sinister, and it is evil. Now, come on now. It really tastes so stale that it's at the point of like being chewy. Also, it tastes like a refrigerator. And by that, I mean, it tastes like the essence of other food that it's been stored with. It doesn't even taste like a cream puff. There's some saltiness in there. I think there's an onion in there. I think there's a jalapeno in there. That's the worst dessert that I've had in a very long time. I'm gonna have to give it a 1 out of 10. Wow. Last but not least, let's try this chocolatey looking cake. It looks like the strawberry one that we had earlier, but just chocolate. Oh, coffee. It's giving espresso. I kind of like it. Oh, yes. Yes, thank you so much. You guys know I don't drink coffee, but I do sometimes enjoy a coffee flavored dessert like tiramisu. And I did enjoy this. I do think that even though there was a strong coffee flavor, there was an emptiness in terms of decadence and richness. I think that it could have been a lot richer and maybe chocolatier, but it was still pretty decent. Thank you so much. So I'm gonna give that a 5 out of 10. Lunch is complete. I'm very satisfied. We tried a lot of great things. I will see you guys at dinner at another buffet location. It is 6 p.m. and we are at the final location for dinner, Hokkaido Chinese and Japanese buffet. Now I gotta be honest, girlies, my belly is greasified, deep fried, and I'm just feeling a little bit icky. So hopefully dinner doesn't do too much more damage, but I'm having fun. That's what matters. Hello. One. This is it, the grand finale, the final buffet mukbang of the day. As you can see, this restaurant had a lot of salady options, including a seaweed salad and some random crab legs just hanging around, giving me a thumbs up. We have some lemons, some oysters, once again, a lot of little shrimps on ice. They're very chill. They keep their cool. Wow, that improv though, okay. And they had this mac and cheese, which I almost got, but as I scooped it up, I saw the texture and I said, I don't think this is my destiny. It just looked a little curdled, so I skipped that, but I did get a lot of other things. You'll see that in a second. But yeah, once again, chicken nuggets, onion rings, fries, pizza, French bread, a lot of the same stuff once again. Who is this Orlando owner? Who is this buffet zaddy that rules over all the buffets? I need to meet him. They also had some pulled pork, which looked interesting. They had, once again, a lot more seafood, some salmon hanging out there, swimming around. As you can see, there's some oysters lounging around in some cloudy water. I kind of want to drink it. I don't know about you. And this location had a lot of sushi. Now, they did have warnings everywhere saying, you know, if you eat this raw food, watch out, queen. They didn't put queen on the paper, but they should have. I guess they didn't know I was going to show up, right? Yeah, there was tons of sushi options. And this is what I ended up getting. So I got some Mongolian chicken. Looked very nice. I got some fried rice, which was bright yellow for some reason. Some lo mein, a chicken skewer, and some pepper steak, and a little bit of seaweed salad. I have to get my nutrients in. And I did get a mushroom. You guys know I don't eat mushrooms, but I was feeling daring. So that was a choice. And then I got some noodles, and that's like a rice cake type thing. And then we got a random chicken nugget in the back, and a pork bun, and a sweet bun, and an egg roll. And that's it. Dinner is served. I got a lot of very adventurous things today. Guys, I got a mushroom. A fungi. This is like The Last of Us Part 3. What should we try first? I guess the seaweed salad, because it's a salad. It's a palate cleanser. I think I had seaweed salad one time, but I forget when. I just remember eating this neon green plant. Let's try it. Honestly, it tastes like a noodle-shaped plant covered in sesame oil with a little bit of lemon flavor. As you guys know, I love sesame oil, and I love Ariel as well, and she is always getting tangled up in seaweed, and it tastes very nice. So I'm gonna give that a nice strong 7 out of 10. Next up, let's try this Mongolian chicken. It looked really good to me. Slap me with a piece of seaweed and call me chicken. That is so good. That is the best chicken I've had today. It is genuinely spicy. It tastes like chili peppers. It's also not breaded, so it's like very light and like clean, you know? So it just has a lot of flavor, not that much grease. I love it. Incredible. 10 out of 10. That 8. Next up, let's try the fried rice.
I waited as long as I could. About 30 seconds.
It isn't gross or anything. It's not bad, but it really just tastes like white rice. It really has no flavor. I like white rice. It's a perfect base for many dishes. It does taste fresh though, and it's fluffy. Still not. You didn't see that flying grain. That was a ghost. She's a messy eater. Samara, stop. I'm gonna have to give the rice a 4 out of 10 just because it's not doing anything for me. Now let's try the lo mein. Arnar. Arnar. That has just as little flavor as the fried rice. It doesn't even taste like spaghetti and soy sauce like the last restaurant. It just tastes like spaghetti boiled in agua. H2O noodles. But to be honest, I would rather take these plain noodles over like the soy sauce noodles from earlier. I feel like Giada would say, where's the marinara? I'm gonna have to give the lo mein a 2 out of 10. Let's try this pepper steak. We have a nice flap right here. it's not as bad as the steak from the first restaurant. Remember that? That was like gelatinous. But to me, this tastes like steak that has been ground up and then shaped into steak patties. But somehow it's still very chewy, even though it's ground up. Does that make sense? And it might not be ground up, but that's just how my teeth are interpreting it. You know, I trust my molars. My teeth have a lot of wisdom, actually. Also, like the sauce kind of reminds me of like a frozen, like Asian lean cuisine, which is not a compliment. I'm gonna have to give the beef a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry. Let's try this chicken skewer. I am perplexed right now because this gobbler is enjoyable, but it tastes like licorice. It's giving good and plenty. In all seriousness, it just has that licorice flavor, but somehow I enjoyed it. It's crispy on the outside and the inside's really tender. So it's good. It just has me a little bit shaken up. I am gonna give that chicken skewer a nice 6 out of 10. Now it's time to try the chicken nugget. Let's see if it tastes like Ronald cooked it. I don't understand. We're at a different restaurant, yet Ronald is here as well. His presence. It's amazing, but I'm confused. Maybe they come from the same factory? I don't know. They're like, we want Ronald's McNuggets, okay? We want that at our buffet. Once again, the chicken nugget is a 10 out of 10. Let's try these more pale noodles. At the other restaurant, they just devoured. So let's see how they taste here. Wow. Those might be even better than the last restaurants. Those are just perfection. They almost have like a ramen noodle flavor, but it's very light. It's simple on purpose. It has flavor, but it's calming. The noodles are so satisfying to bite through. Those are getting a 10 out of 10 again. We have 3 buns to try. Now this one was called like rice cake or rice something, and it's a different shape. It's just serving like circular Pillsbury uncooked biscuit, right? That's what it looks like. And then this is a sweet bun and this is a pork bun. So let's try the rice thingy first. Oh wow, there's nothing in it. Tastes like sandwich bread. Tastes like Wonder Bread. I love that. I can make a peanut butter and jelly with this. It's a little bit sweeter than sandwich bread, but it's very sandwich bready, and it has a very nice fluffy texture. It's like fluffy yet doughy at the same time, which is once again very satisfying to bite into. I think that's probably meant for like dipping into sauces. It's like a little side dish because it doesn't have any filling. I'm gonna give that a nice 6 out of 10. It's a fun little side dish. Now let's try the pork bun. It's good. To me, you're gonna call me so uncultured. It tastes like a pulled pork sandwich, but like a lighter, cloudier version. Like a barbecue sandwich that can float. The filling really tastes kind of like barbecue sauce with like pulled pork, but instead of the pork being pulled, it's more of like a grainy texture, which I don't know if I love, but it wasn't bad. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. If the texture was more of like a pulled pork, I would probably give it like an 8. Just the texture really bothered me. Now let's try the sweet bun. So what's in this? We have no clue. Oh wow. What is that? Oh. That is radiant. Maybe she's born with it. It's the same bun as the other, so it has that sandwich bread flavor, but it really worked with this filling. This filling reminded me of like an egg yolk in texture, but in flavor, like vanilla pudding custard vibes. And you might be thinking, Timmy, that sounds weird. A vanilla egg yolk? Girl, it works. I would say that is more of a dessert, but I truly enjoyed it, and I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. I would eat 5 of those, and I might after filming. Now let's try the pork egg roll. Oh, that's the best egg roll that I've had today, and one of the best that I've ever had in general. That egg roll, first of all, is very salty. There's a little bit of tanginess in there, and there's a strong black pepper flavor. I love that. Also, the wrapping isn't too thick. It's extremely crispy. It doesn't taste oily at all. Fantastic. 10 out of 10. Wow. So I have to try the mushroom now. It is the last thing on my plate to try, and I am scared. Girlies, I don't know if I should do this. I don't think I can. couldn't do it. I couldn't handle it. This is nothing against the mushrooms from this buffet. That's just mushrooms and me in general. I have not tried to try a mushroom in years, and now I finally did again, and it just confirmed. Mushrooms need to stay away from me. Anyways, I'm gonna go and get dessert. It's the final dessert of the day. Are we ready? But before we try those, what have I learned eating all this Chinese food at this Chinese buffet slash Japanese buffet? I have learned that buffets are hit or miss. You are really gonna not like some of the things that you get, and you're really gonna love some of the things that you get. And that's just the nature of this mukbang challenge moment, you know? It's the nature of life. So once again, they had a lot of the same desserts as the other restaurants, but they had this amazing cinnamon cake looking thing with like this like cinnamon glaze on it that I had to try. So I did. You shall see what happens. And they also had some puddings, of course, and honestly, a lot of fruit options. I ended up getting this like cream puff eclair type thing and this heart-shaped cracker cookie thingy and the cinnamon cake. And that's my final dessert. I've been seeing this cracker at all the restaurants and I haven't tried it yet, so let's try it, girlies. That is like the crunchiest cookie. It has so many little layers in it, so it has a wonderful texture. Flavor-wise, it reminds me of those little like shortbread cookies in those tin cans that everyone's grandma used to have. Tastes just like that. I love those. It was like a memory. It was like unlocked, you know? I'm giving that a 10 out of 10. So enjoyable. Now let's try this like cream puff eclair type thing. Last cream puff really upset me. Mama doesn't want to get upset again. I am confused. Where are we? Who am I? What is this? Who are you? Why does this taste almost exactly like the last cream puff, but a little less icky? It still has a staleness to it. The cream puff itself just has a horrible styrofoamy texture. And the cream really tastes like nothing. So it's not horrible, but it's not good. I'm gonna have to give it a 3 out of 10. Anyways, last but not least, the final item of the day, we have this cinnamon cake. It looks really good. I'm ready for it. So grateful. We ended on such a good note, guys. We deserve this. That little cinnamon cake is fantastic. It tastes like something from like Hostess, but fresher. It's very moist. Like the moistness is on point. There is a very strong brown sugar flavor. So if you don't like brown sugar, then you wouldn't like this. But I have learned to love brown sugar. I used to think that it tasted like a raisin, but now I'm like, it tastes like a raisin that I might enjoy. There's also sort of like that cinnamon sugar texture, a little bit of crunch in there that was very enjoyable. I am happy to say that we are ending the video with a 10 out of 10. Anyways, guys, this is the final dinner buffet score. What do we think? This was such a fun challenge, guys, doing 3 Chinese food buffet mukbangs in a day. I ate that, literally. Anyways, future Timmy is gonna calculate together all the scores and he's gonna find an average so that we can have one big final score. Here it is. What do we think? What a fun day of food. Thank you guys so much for watching this video and for eating with me. It was such a fun challenge. I'm definitely gonna make a lot more buffet mukbangs, so stay tuned for that and subscribe. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next video. I love you so much. Bye. Who are you?